Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first. This is pretty grim, but I think union is better than changing. It sorts out all the duplicates and scores about 10 points. Not a great rack leave. £12 points. Okay, duplicate I, but fairly balanced, and I've got the F for score. I can't see a 7 or an 8-letter bingo here, but I have got the if-I'd suffix going with G and O. Union takes a B in front. Now, how to sort this rack out? Is there anywhere for my F? And door takes an N and an S after it. Well, my F can go after double O. Column 11 is a double-double lane, but I can't see a way of getting a double-double there. F goes after DI as well. Well, I certainly want to play off the F and one of the I's, and the G and D don't go well together. So what I'm thinking about doing is playing Figo across here. Not a great score, but it sorts the rack out. 16 points, that's not bad. It does open up this triple word square, but if my opponent plays a 6-letter player across here, he's providing a lot of floaters. Just pausing in case something much better comes to mind, and I can't see anything. Well, not great. The Q and V together are always a bad combination. It's a bit like the U and the W. I do have the I for going with the Q. So my priority will be to play off the Q, and through an A I would have Cade and Cad-I. Just looking around for anywhere to play my Q at the moment, and I can play it in row H, making chi and if, taking out that H1 hotspot. If I could score a lot and retain the Q, I would consider doing that. But it would have to be about 15 to 20 points more than I can score with the Q alone. Well, that's a good start for my opponent. 68 points and the first blank. Now there is an A for Cade and Caddy. But I could also play Chi at F1. Let me see what this scores. 20 points. Well, that's more than the Cade spot. Rack leave's not great, but I think it is a priority to play off the Q, and this is better than changing. Now, I don't have a bingo here, but I'd like to play off the V and the K, and I should be able to do that. I've got evoke and evoked on my rack. Both of those play at J2, making Phi and Id. I've also got the over prefix through the R of father, but I don't have an 8-letter bingo. Evoked isn't going to score very much, but it is going to get rid of my problem tiles. I'm 33 points behind at the moment. Great, only 17 points for my opponent. Now Nab does take a K after it. But I do want to get rid of the V, so I don't think I can take advantage of that. So this is what I'm thinking about doing. £28 points, not bad. And it's keeping the board open, which I'd like to do since I'm 50 points behind. This is opening up row K. Evoke takes an R in front, so it's also opening up column 1. I draw the second V, and I've got duplicate O's. So not a good rack. No bingo here, 7 or 8. I'm 22 points behind, but my opponent's on turn. 3 R's in the bag, and I'm keeping my eye on the R's because of the revoked hook. Well, there it goes, but only 39 points, so that could have been worse. Now, I note that my O can go underneath, or my I can go underneath the K of revoked. So, I could play Pote. It's not getting rid of the V. And I think it's worth playing the E here because of the number of vowels I've got, even though it's only adding well, it's actually adding 7 more points. That's quite good. And 38 points is a good score. Pote takes a D and an S after it, so it is opening up column 8 for a 5-letter play down here. But since I'm behind, I'd like to keep the board open with a lot of possibilities. Just pausing in case I have anything through my opponent's floaters in rails, but I don't think I do have anything. And also just pausing in case there is a play which gets rid of the V as well. I note that Poov is good. Can't see anywhere to play that. I could play Pivot in column 5, but only 18 points, and this is 38 points, so I think this is worthwhile. Wow, I am a long way from a bingo. I've drawn a couple of S's, and I've got the X. What I don't have is a 5-letter play beginning with S for playing in column 8 to make Potes. I could play Ox in column 2 alongside Railed. Ox, X and Low. That's going to score nearly 40 points, which is good. That stays available. But I will be retaining the V and the G. Well, let me just see what this scores. I'm considering playing Vigors down here because it gets rid of the V and the G. It retains the X, which is a good scoring tile. And it scores 26 points. The alternative, if I play Ox down here, it scores 12 more points, but I'm keeping the V and the G. So it's a much worse rack leave. Playing off more tiles increases my chances of drawing the remaining blank. And I'm keeping this spot for the X available. And I'm also generating 2 new spots for the X. This is really hot for Ox down here and also XU down here. So either side of Vigors I've got an X spot and in column 2. So the X is valuable. And also this 5-letter lane down here is available for my S. And if I play my X as well, that's going to be a big score. So I think this is the right play. Great. I draw the blank. This looks pretty balanced. I may even be close to a bingo. Chenix's is good through an I through an E or an N. Neither of those is available. I can't put my X next to the O of vigors. I'm 33 points behind at the moment, so I'm still in touch. But I could play XI alongside railed here for nearly 40 points, and the rack leave of CHES blank is excellent. But do I have a bingo with this round? Let me run through the alphabet, see if anything comes to mind. Through a T, I would have cathexis. And through an A, I would have cachexis, I think. Now, what was that first one I saw? Let me just take this back. Cathexis. I paused because I've just spotted that there is a T here in father, but that doesn't work. Can't see anything there. Cachexis, maybe not, maybe it's cachexiers I'm thinking about. That would be chenixes through an N. Can't see anything there. Chenixes through an E. $30 points for my opponent, continuing to score well. Well, I may have overlooked a bingo, but if I have, I don't think it'll be hugely expensive. Because this is going to score quite well. 39 points, and the rack leave is immense. Well, pretty good. Right, so what do I have? Surely I have a bingo here. Fet takes an A and an S after it. Let me run through the alphabet and see if I can see something. I've got 12 minutes left. Childes is good, and Childs. Well, neither of those plays. This is a bingo lane across here for something going after NO. There's a bingo lane here. My opponent scores 27, but has taken out a bingo lane because Nab took an S in front. Now, lychees. Null, not good. Lychees, helices. Great, I've got helices across here. But I'd like to do something a little bit better than that. Is there a third anagram? I think there is. Is it eliches? Well, that doesn't really help me. So, helices, I mustn't forget that. Filches. Well, any bingo I get has got to go across one of these two spots, and neither of them gets doubled. So what's the point of trying to identify something else? And a further bingo which goes in that spot. Well, it would only be a case of getting the F, the H, or the C on one of these spots. And helices misses on both, so let me just see if anything else comes up. Hilches is good. Well, that might draw a challenge. That's playable across here. Chilies. Milches, I don't think is good, but it might be. Now, lichens and lynches. That looks promising. I think pilchers might be good. That looks like there should be something there. Okay, well, zilches is there. Now, do I have anything beginning DI? Because that would be a massively higher score than the Hilches spot. And any bingo across here is opening up column 15 for an easy 30-point comeback from my opponent. So a play beginning DI would be significantly better. Well, let me just consider prefixes. So I've got the dis prefix, dire. Well, I'm going to run through pretty quickly. Haven't seen anything so far. Well, there may be something there, but I haven't seen it. So, Hilches. $71. Wow, fantastic pickup. Debater, rebaited, betread. My opponent does challenge, so it was worthwhile playing the more obscure bingo. He loses 5 points. I've now got a 25-point lead, and I've got a good rack. Great, he hasn't taken this S. Do I have a bingo through the S? Betreads is blocked by Whiz. Debaters is blocked by Whiz. Well, I don't think there is one. There are no other floaters in Hilches. I've got this spot here, underneath Fet, for a word beginning with A. Well, there isn't one. Do I have a bingo beginning X? Wow, how disappointing. I thought I was very close to a bingo, but I can't see one. Now, have I considered every bingo lane? Koa only takes an N and an S after it. Possibly a P. Whiz takes an S in front. Well, how frustrating, because this is a fabulous rack. And I like to keep the board open. But I can't see a bingo here. So what I can do is play C-bait. I am in the lead, or I will be. I'm 6 points behind right now, but this is taking out a dangerous spot. It's scoring 33 points. Rack leaves okay, but quite a bingo-y set of tiles that are left. I have tireder and retired. Neither of those plays on the board as it stands. Can't see anything. Right, 43 points for my opponent, but he has provided a new floater in the N. I've got interred, but that's blocked. I've also got trendier, and that isn't blocked. Well, that's a stroke of good fortune. That is really fortunate. Trendier, 60 points. And that's a pretty balanced rack, and I've got a good scoring tile in the J. Only 2 tiles in the bag. Quick play by my opponent. He's played Yar. Dura, not good. It's Dusra, which is good. Let's get that off. So my opponent had YA. I can see the remaining tiles down here. He might have guanils, but there's nowhere to play that. So I've now got a 44-point lead. Where can I play my J? I can play it alongside C-bait. I can play jut. Let me see what that scores. Should be about 30 points, I think. $35 points, and that rack leave is pretty good. I've got 5 minutes left. Is there a better spot for the J? I'm looking to see if I can place it before or after the A of Swain and reach the double word square. Can't see a way of doing that. If I play down here, it wouldn't score markedly more than the jut play, and it would provide floaters for my opponent, which I don't want to do. If he goes out with a bingo, he could well win. So jut. Well, I guess it also serves to block bingos through here, but there may not be any. Ah, I can play Joe down here. Let me see what that scores. 37 points. Well, I prefer playing jut. $35. I can see what my opponent's got. He doesn't have a bingo. He's got 2 Ys. I don't think I'm going to go out in 1. $26 for my opponent. He's got 2 Ys left. I think Yays is good. That plays in column 11 down here and column 9 down here. And across here, so I can't block that if it's good, and I think it is. My opponent may not see it. So this game should be won. I'm 50 points ahead. I just need to score about 20 points here, get rid of the M. And I'm looking across here. I can place my E here and my O here. So I could play, well, I was going to say lemon, but that's not quite right. Okay, I can't see a play across there. I'm short on time now, only 2.5 minutes left. What about playing down here? M, U. 24 points, that's not great, but it's probably good enough. 2 minutes left, so that's my baseline. I'll play this if I haven't got anything better. Now, what about loom here? 25 points. Slight doubt about that. Mule, 21. Yeah, I think that's fine. And I prefer this to playing MU across here because, well, MU sets up YA across here, which I'd rather not do. This is going to give me 21 points, 399, 74-point lead. That is definitely a winning play. Loom is a word I should have been sure on, but sometimes, well, doubt creeps in. Now, if my opponent doesn't go out with yays, I've got Nog in row E making WO and also Gon making ZO. And I've got On in column 3 making XO and Din. So I have a number of options for going out. And my opponent may not spot yays. Well, he finds just yay for 17, so I do get one more go. So what I'm thinking about, my options are Nog for 13, Gon for 15, On for 16. So can I beat 16 points? 18 points. Can I beat 18 points? Well, I don't think I can. Just wait for my opponent to formally end the game. Which he does. And the final score, 342 to my opponent, 421 to me, a winning margin of 79 points. Let's see what I missed. So it was me to go first. I played Union. I think the only alternative to that was changing. But the reason for playing Union here is not only am I scoring, but I'm taking out this central double word square as well, but on the downside I'm providing lots of floaters and providing access to other double word squares, so there's probably not very much between this and changing. This was my opponent's rack. That looks pretty bingo-y. What did he have? Wow, Ronkador and Rodora. Not easy ones to spot. This was my rack. Well, nothing great there. I played Figo for 16, and well, that compares reasonably well with the other options. This was my opponent's rack. He had Father and played it. Also had Fraughter for fewer points. This was my rack. Bit of a horror show. Yeah, I don't like Ked. Keeping Q and V is not good. J2 Kiev across here. Well, that's keeping the Q. I'm sacrificing 12 points to get rid of the Q, but the Q's worth about -13 by itself, so I think Chi is fine. This is my opponent's rack. That looks close to a bingo, but he didn't have one. And this is my rack. I could have played Revoked down here for 37. That would have been better than Evoked across here. A lot better. So that was an oversight on my part. Yeah, that would have been a much better play. Now, this is where my opponent played Railed. He could have played Radiali across here. So that was a missed bingo by my opponent. This was my rack. Didn't look great. F11. Poov across here, placing the E in this triple word lane. I didn't particularly like. What did I do instead? I played Pote for 10 more points. Yeah, I prefer that. This is my opponent's rack. He has lots of A's. And this is my rack. This was my choice. I had Z or Ox down here next to Railed for nearly 40 points, or my move, which was Vigors for 26 points, and I prefer my move. I think I'm not looking at a bingo with these racks, and Vigors was setting up 2 more additional good X spots. This is my opponent's rack. He played Wiz. Now, did I miss a bingo here? No, I didn't. Fantastic. And I played XI, and that looks best. Fantastic rack leave. High probability of bingoing next go. This is my opponent's rack. He's struggling with multiple A's. And this is where I played Hilchers. Did I have anything beginning DI? Oh, no, I didn't. But I've obviously missed something immense. Because D11. Oh, wow, look at this. Schoolies coming down here. Double, and making swizz. Wow, fantastic. 118 points available there. And if you missed that, which I did, then Hilchers was the best that was left. But wouldn't it have been fantastic if I'd have spotted that? Well, I didn't, and well done if you did. This is my opponent's rack. Did he have a bingo? No, he didn't. And, well, I did have a bingo, but nowhere to play it. Ooh, ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, it wasn't just debaters and big treads. There was also breasted, and that played. Wow, that was a bad miss. Okay, C-bait for 33. Definitely a long way behind. Now, this is my opponent's rack. He played Swain for 43, and I was fortunate because that gave me Trendier, which was the only playable bingo. Now my opponent, I think this is where he phonied. Yeah, he phonied. This is my rack. I considered Joe for 37, and I played Jut for 35, and I could also have played John in the same spot. My opponent extended that to Ganja, and this was my rack. Mew on L3. Oh wow, that would have been pretty nice. 26 points down here. Instead, I played Mule for 21. And let's just see if my opponent did have an out. Yays was an out. He didn't spot it. And finally, M3 on was the highest scoring play. So, pretty exciting game. I missed a fabulous word in Schoolies. Very difficult to spot. 9-letter words are hard to spot, but that certainly would have been fantastic if I'd spotted it. Breasted was a bad miss, but these things happen. I won by about 80 points, so pretty exciting game. I hope you enjoyed watching it and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.